Hello and welcome to Prophetic News, episode 5 with Judith Millar.
And Marcus Voinoitzer.
Yeah,
Hello,
Judith,
Marcus.
hi. Do you have news for us?
We do. It's not a big episode, but quite interesting messages from Spirit. And as we know, some of last episode's predictions have already come true. And I want to start off this episode answering one of our followers' questions to one of the predictions. They had questioned about there was a message about the banks NatWest, and I queried the message, and it's NatWest branches will close. So I hope that was the answer to the question they needed. I also want to talk. They gave me Portland. And they've talked about floods in Portland. Now, I haven't checked exactly to see where that is, but I trust Spirit as always. There's usually a cryptic in there somewhere, and this cryptic, this episode is turtle dove and a partridge in a pear tree. So anybody who knows that knows it's from a Christmas carol. But the turtle doves is representing love and the freedom of our world. And the partridge in a pear tree is representing the Son of God. And I don't mean the Son of God as in Jesus, I mean as in the Son of our divine, of our world. Okay, so those two are very strongly connected, and Spirit is trying to show us that if we can do one, we have the other. They go hand in hand. The other, there's another country and they talk about floods, and it's Japan. They're saying Japan will flood. And I got this message before, and it's burn, baby, burn, twisted inferno, fire. And can you remember, Marcus, going back to the disaster in Hawaii and the disaster in Spain? And when you look at it, the ratio of measurements and circumferences all are identical, and that was not natural. That was man-made. Now they haven't told me exactly where, but the same is going to occur again. Okay, it's coming up.
It seems like that the fire started with a laser gun from space, because laser guns they have something very special. They can't set under fire things that are blue. And in this situation from Hawaii and in other islands, all what was blue was not burned. Very strange. So
Yes.
It seems like that this old system from Reagan time, this Star Wars system, really exists in space. But this is only a guess from my side. What do you have more about it?
I 100% know Spirit are trying to say it is going to happen again. Now they haven't. I know we've gave a lot of predictions on all the other episodes, and we have to remember what hasn't come true yet will come true. So this could tie into maybe one of those messages, but it will all become apparent. So everything that I give in these episodes is purely exactly what Spirit wants to pass. So exactly what you said about the beam and the like, you could have two houses beside each other. One is damaged, one's not. Pay attention when that happens to the measurements, to the precision of it. The precision of it is very important because that's what's giving it away. The same with Hawaii and the other countries. So it is going to occur again. And again, it's not natural. And I feel it's going to occur more than once. It's going to keep occurring because they need to distract us in any way they can. And they need to cause that fear base within people. And they're realizing it's not going to be as easy as it was before.
When you mean that we get distracted, it means we pay attention to something what is secondary, but behind all this is something going on we shouldn't notice early enough, better
Yeah.
when it is too late.
Yes. For example, before we move on, because we don't have a big episode today. So for example, I don't know what it's like in Mexico, but I want to stress in the UK, we have just discovered that the World Health Organization and our governments, and it's the same all around the world, are talking about giving the World Health Organization complete power over all the countries to lock us down for the next pandemic, to override our own governments. The UK government said no, and rightly so, because I think they would have had a whole riot on their hands if they hadn't. But there is countries signing up to this. This wasn't made public in the UK, as in it wasn't taken to a vote. Everybody wasn't being made aware of the ins and outs and the dates this was being arranged. It was all behind closed doors, and likewise it is the same across all the world, affecting all the countries. So people have to try and be a bit more vigilant, because our civil rights and our freedom is being taken away, but we're being distracted by disasters and the most gruesome distractions, some of them. And it's sad, because people are suffering, all because people want power and control behind closed doors. So there's a lot to come out. Talking about that, I want to talk about Australia has been very prominent in my channel, my messages that I've been getting channeled. And I know from the last episode, there has been validations and things have taken place. But I want to say there's going to be more attacks in Australia. There's going to be more in Perth, and they're going to be quite significant coming up. And it will be 2024, especially, that these are going to take place. Ireland. Now, I'm from the island of Ireland, and I know there's a lot of unrest in the south of Ireland, because they're feeling they've lost their country. They're feeling that they don't have any rights. And I understand, we understand refugees need home and whatever, but there's a lot going on that people aren't being told, and they're finding out separately. So uprising, Ireland is uprising, and trouble is coming. And when I say that, for anybody who is local or national here, when I say trouble is coming and uprising, it's not about the troubles from Northern Ireland that would have been in the history, that they'll actually come together. So the Catholics and the Protestants, where people would have thought that they would have fought against each other, they're going to join together, and the uprising is coming, and they're uprising that way. They've said to me, the sky should be our concern. We need to pay attention to the night skies. Attack is coming. And they've told me this a few times. They told me about, in the last episode, about the drone operators, about the night skies and within our own walls. And so anybody who hasn't picked up on the first half of that message, check out episode 4 and the previous episodes. Scottish referendum. Now, I didn't question them anymore about that, because I honestly don't feel that's something I feel it's something that's going to be raised its head, but it's not going to take place. And that's not really any change there. So decisions to be made, government decisions on the 5th of December, public informed. Okay, so Spirit has just said to me, those decisions that's going to be announced to the public has a ripple effect. It's not just the UK. It's going to affect other countries as well. So it will affect international. This year, the Holy War begins. August, very relevant, skies. And since we've started these episodes, Marcus, we have talked in the very beginning about August. We've always pinpointed August. And we also know about the war, and he said it was going to begin slowly. So they're talking about the Holy War, okay? The Holy War that maybe was in Notre Dame's book or anybody else's, it's beginning this year. It's already nearly on its way. Also, I want to talk about the French Tower. We talked about the French Tower in episode 4. Spirit has brought it forward again, so it's very significant. And it's not the Eiffel Tower, and it will attack. It's to do with August, and it will be with attacks in August. French Tower, and I also want to say skyscraper will fall. So I knew it wasn't Eiffel Tower, but I have to say skyscraper will fall. Also, downtown attacks. Be vigilant at night. And bridge, and I feel I want to say mainland UK for that. Something to do with the Tower of London and around there. I have to link that in. We also talked about the royals in the last few episodes, and in the episode 4 we talked about news from the King, Princess Anne and Princess Kate. So they have explained that Princess Anne, who hasn't announced anything yet, she will over the summer months. And it will be health related for Princess Anne, and she will discuss it over the summer months. New York State building attacked and damaged. The calm before the storm. 24 and going into 25, both affected, and I do feel the elections is part of it. But it's a distraction tactic. People need to pay attention to what and who's causing the trouble, because they're not genuine in what they're saying. And I feel I want to say it's to do with other countries. So there's a lot of trouble. I know America seems a bit crazy right now, but it's going to get worse. So space jam, radio waves, communication. And I want to say Spirit is talking about there's always been communication, as in beyond this world, and it's very well known that there's communication beyond this world. We're just being hidden. The army will be, again, they stated that the army will be deployed across the nations, scenes that won't be forgotten. Other countries all involved too. So that's very significant, because they're highlighting there's a few messages there they've asked to repeat. There's more tornadoes to hit the UK, which we wouldn't get tornadoes, but they're going to get much bigger and a lot more to come. Now this is interesting. I want to finish in this one, and it was about, we all know about the Northern Lights, the auras, and how strongly, they can come through. Well, they talk about this is the first in 20 years that you've been able to see.
Do we speak here, sorry to interrupt you, do we speak about Aurora Borealis?
Yes, sorry.
The North Light, yes. It was appearing in other places like normal, and they were trying to discuss it away, that it was not Aurora Borealis, but it is in real a natural effect what we didn't have before, and it has to do with the sun activity and maybe with a DNA update.
I'm going to surprise you, Marcus, because Spirit always loved to throw something in, the truth that we were always misled to believe, and to open that awareness a bit more. And Spirit have talked about how many countries have seen this in the last two nights, especially Friday night, all over the world.
Not in Mexico.
Sorry?
Not in Mexico. We didn't have it.
Oh, did you not? No. Well, we had it here. I didn't see it on Friday night, and I sat up to after 3 o'clock, nearly 3 o'clock yesterday morning or this morning to try and see them, and I didn't see them. But they talk about the earth has chakras. You have chakras, I have chakras. We have an aura. So our chakras radiate into our aura. So the earth chakras were and are blending energy with other dimensions.
Let me interrupt you once again. When we speak about the chakras, do we speak here more exactly about the north and south pole openings?
That's not the way they explained it to me. The way they explained it to me is, as we've got chakras, the earth has got chakras. As you know, Stonehenge is the heart chakra. Egypt is the throat chakra. You know, the Giza and the pyramids. So you know, the ley lines. We're into the ley lines and the energy lines and everything else. And you know, as we would talk about, but as we blend energy with each other, that's what was happening within our world, and the different portals and dimensions where they were blending more with our chakras, with the world's energy. That's what's causing it. But we're being
so we are not more inbound in the whole Earth system, because Mother Earth is as well a living being in total, and we are only a part of it. And because of the shift, of the density shift, we are more inbound to the whole system. Is this correct?
So they honestly have told me more about it, but they've said that I'm not to share it yet. So there's obviously a reason why they want me to hold off. But they go into detail in quite a good bit of it, and it's very interesting. And so I know sometimes people might say, gosh, that's a bit cryptic. Honestly, everything we give is cryptic if you want to look at it in that sense. You know, Spirit always say mysteries are only mysteries when we make them mysteries. Everything is very simple. You know, when we go back to, for an example, when we go back to the Bible, we always talk about the Book of Holy Codes. And when COVID was happening in 2020, coming off the back of 2021, getting into off the back of 2019, sorry. I was given a message, and people asked me at the time, do I get messages? And I do, but I never shared them because the world went crazy over COVID, and the truth, people didn't want to hear the truth. You know, now they're happy to hear the truth, but at the time, people wouldn't be able to believe nor cope with the truth because that was causing fear. But I had written down Psalm 91 from the Bible. And when you read that, it will shock you as to what it states. It states about going in and staying inside your houses, close the doors, showing that you trust in higher powers and in the divine, and you will be protected. And that basically also, when you read that, go and read Psalm 91. It will also show you that to trust your own self and to trust that you are protected. It's the outside forces around us that is causing us harm. We're being asked to trust. And this next pandemic, and this, as we go ahead, as we go forward, that will be tested more and more.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's this fortnight's episode.
Okay. Dear little audience, I hope this was helpful for you. And we will be back in episode 6. Until the next time. And don't forget, be nice, be kind, be good. Until next time, bye.
Bye.